Hey, what's up, guys? It's Josh and Paul here. We're here to talk about September Strength Club workout. So let's just get right into it. I don't want to take up too much of your time today. So you guys did great on these supersets in August, and we got a bunch of reps in, at least 10, 5 on the heavy reps and 5 to 10 on the second exercise, which is great because that helps us build up, at least timing-wise, as we move on to September, and we're going to start working some 8 rep sets this month. So what we're looking to do with these 8 rep sets is it's probably going to be a little bit lighter. It's going to be a little bit lighter than your 5 rep weight. For some of you, we'll test at the beginning to see what you can do here. But when we move up to like 8 reps, 8 to 10 reps, what we're looking for is exercises that are going to, like, weight's going to be a little bit lighter because we have more reps to do. This can be easier on your joints at times because the weight's going to be lighter, which is less stress on the ligaments and the tendons. So, and it also conditions those muscles in a different way. So we put those two things together, and we're going to use that to work medium tempos on these, really challenge the muscles for 8 challenging reps, and then give yourself some time to recover here. But we want to find weights that you could possibly do like a 9th rep, but the 8th is going to be the last rep you can do well. So for some of you, you're going to have to figure this out. Other you probably have 8 rep weights for these exercises that we've done before. You can check those, or you can look at what you've done for 5 reps and then say, okay, that was for 5, but I need to do 8. Maybe I'm going to go down 5 or 10 pounds depending on the exercise, maybe even 20 depending on the exercise, and then start there. And of course, in the first week, we're always trying to find what the right weights may be. Second week, we're going to refine it and really figure everything out. Weeks 3 and 4, you guys know what you're doing. Everything works really well. So we're looking for 8 reps here to challenge ourselves. And this is going to be important because also in October, we will be going back to our alactic training or analactic training. Alactic? Alactic training, and that's going to be.
I feel like analactic would be no breath.
Yeah, so we're gonna take the 8 rep weight, and then we're only gonna do about 3 reps of them. But this is where you're gonna kind of try to build up a bunch of sets of doing it, and we work at a more of a casual pace. So you want to make sure you find some challenging weights here because that's gonna make the difference when we go to that alactic training in October. So be aware of that.
That's a tease.
That's right.
That's giving
oh
away.
no, I know we should have told them.
Oh man.
Now they was going to say, like, nobody's going to know what to ask in the last week of the program. So, okay, so let's hit on a couple new exercises that we have here as well. Nothing too crazy. One of them comes from work we've done in the Kettlebell Club over the last few weeks, and this is our suitcase march. So we're going to combine this with our square crawl. So you'll get a kettlebell, edge of the blue floor on the blue floor. But this one, suitcase carry, so kettlebell in one arm. And then you're just marching in place. And the important thing here is to make sure you're pulling that knee up and you're basically holding a nice tall posture on that single standing leg. We want to make sure we're not rocking in here. So in the video, I also show a little bit of what not to do.
I'll have it loaded for the final
it'll be exaggerated a little bit as well because I'm trying to show you we're trying not to move. So this is more of a core stabilization exercise that you're going to start to feel in your hips, your glutes, and in your core muscles and your obliques as you're working it. So we're going to grab a heavy-ish weight, but again, it's only going to be for 30 seconds. It should not be a weight that you're struggling to hold because the challenge is going to come from stabilizing during the march. So maintaining that tall posture, not shifting our weight from side to side as we're doing it. We'll get a set on one side. In the second set, we'll just hold it in the other side here. So you're going to get 2 sets total. And then in the second workout, we have our
banded fly.
Half kneeling press with a band fly. Again, this is something we worked on in Kettlebell Club. This we're going to use in our ramping as well. This is just a great chance to get some muscles firing, kind of balance out the hips and shoulders here. So for this one, you go to your half kneeling position. You're going to be pressing with a dumbbell or kettlebell with the same arm as the knee that's on the floor. And then the outside, which is going to be your inside arm and knee. Then the outside hand is going to have that band, and you're just going to pull that band apart as if you're doing a reverse fly. And just pull it apart, squeezing that shoulder blade, and you're pressing at the same time. And what happens when we pull and we're pressing at the same time, it helps balance out our shoulders, so it keeps us from leaning into the press, and it gets some muscles activated for us and really hitting those upper rear back, or like rear delts and upper back muscles to kind of get them activated for us. So we'll get a set in each direction. The press itself does not need to be heavy. This is something where I want you to feel what you're doing. We're not using weight to challenge ourselves. We're just going to get a little bit of resistance there, something to move. And with the band, if you feel like you want it heavier, just scoot further away from the beam and you can adjust that. But again, you don't need to be too heavy. We'll get a set on each side. And then we'll see how we feel from there. Some of you are going to feel some soreness from this just from it being a little new, but nothing too crazy.
Real quick, and you might have mentioned this for that suitcase carry, suitcase march. Your weight should be down, obviously, from that. So you don't want to have.
So yeah, I
just feel like that takes. We should say that probably a couple different times.
It's not. The weight doesn't need to be very heavy to challenge you on this, because where we were doing like our heavy fucking carries, we needed heavy fucking weight. This is because of the challenge comes from stabilizing, having a weight that's off center for us, and it makes us adjust our center of gravity. But what we're going to try to do is brace our core to not have to, so we're just nice and rigid. So instead of having to use our bodies to compensate, we're going to get our muscles firing so that we don't have to. We're going to be nice and rigid on that one. But it should not be a weight. At the end of 30 seconds, you should not be thinking, I got to put this weight down. I can't hold it any longer. That's way too heavy. Okay. And you'll see, you won't need it. For most of you, 25 to 40 pounds is going to be plenty for this one. But after the first week, you'll know a little bit more and see if that works.
Right.
Another thing that we're doing on workout B for the finisher here.
Well, I figured we wanted to mention, because we haven't done this one.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's go. So we also have in the ramping, we have our stability ball mountain climbers. This is an awesome core exercise. This can be quite challenging though. So as you see here, for our push-up plank position, I'm squeezing that ball here to like really get my pecs working and everything engaged, shoulders down and away. And then I'm just slowly driving one knee up at a time. Just like with the marches, the big thing here is going to be to not let your body compensate as you're working this. You can also work this from your forearms. You can also just hold that plank, whether it's the ball squeeze plank from the straight arm, like push-up plank position, or from your forearms. You can always work this plank position at any point when you're doing that for those 30 seconds. Again, that's a pretty challenging exercise for 30 seconds. So don't be afraid to modify. And, the first week, just make sure, remind yourself this is a tough one and challenge yourself to do it well. Then for the finisher on this one, on this workout, this is something we haven't done it this way before, but I know I'm excited about it. I know some of you are going to be hesitant at first, but let's not put the negativity out there. Let's start with what I'm excited about. So for the finisher, we're going to focus on our Echo Bike Challenge, which is what we do at the assessments when people come in, and we're kind of use this as a reassessment. And workout B at the end, instead of having a bunch of exercises to do, we're going to focus, and then we only have 4 bikes, so it'll be 4 people at a time. We're going to do, it's 10 seconds of hard work, 20 seconds to rest. You get 6 total sets, so it's 60 seconds of hard work, and we're going to track those calories. And what we'll find out is in week 1, that's going to be your baseline. That's where you're starting. And remember, in the first week, you're not going to go necessarily super heavy on all the exercise, because we're trying to find some weight. So you should have enough energy to really push yourself during this Echo Bike Challenge. But it's 60 total seconds where we track the calories. And then each week, your goal is to challenge yourself to try to get, even if it's just 1 more calorie each time. And I know that's tough. For some of you, you're already going so hard that even 1 calorie in 1 or 2 weeks is going to be a huge improvement. But another part of this is going to be for people to get their mindset right for this, because I know the bike isn't always fun, but it's 10 seconds no matter whether you go nice and slow on or you go as hard as you can. But if you give yourself that goal, if you see like, hey, last week I did 19 calories, this week I want to try to get to 20, especially in that last set, you'll find yourself maybe giving just a little bit more to get that 1 extra calorie. Right. And then that's the stuff that makes the biggest difference. By the end of the 4 weeks, you should be either improved your times or feel much better working at that same time. I'd rather see you improve those times, because that means that you're really challenged yourself. But other times,
improve those calories.
Improve the calories.
Time,
It's the same amount of time. Improve the calories in that time. So again, it doesn't matter where you start. Some people might get 10 total calories the first week. Somebody might get 30. The idea is the person who gets 10, hey, can you get to 15 by the end of this month? And the person who gets 30 is a lot. Hey, can you get to 33 by the end of this month? Maybe it's 32. Who knows? But I want you walking away from this each time saying, I really challenged myself on that, and that was what I got this week. And depending on how you're feeling, sometimes it's going to be up, it's going to be down. But over the course of 4 weeks, you should be really seeing some improvement there. And then I threw in some chin-ups there.
Yeah, I was going to say the chins are there. But
right, so if you're someone who's waiting around because there's only 4 bikes, but there's 6 people, hey, practice your chin-ups. If you're done with the assessing, you still want to wait, and you're waiting for some other people to get done and you want to practice them, practice them. And all I put in here is I want you to try to get maybe 10 to 15 reps in. So that might be 10 single chin-ups, or a single chin-up 10 times, right? You could do that 10 times, just like, hey, I did 10 sets of 1 rep. You could do 5 and then 4 and then 3, or 5 and 4 and then 1. You could do different things with it. Practice it. You could try to say, hey, I'm going to see how many I can do in 1 set. And then if I get 6, now I just need to do 4 more in another set, or 4 singles. You can mix it up. It's just that while you're there and waiting for other people, maybe you practice your chin-ups a little bit. You can make them negatives. You can do anything. And it doesn't necessarily have to be 10. I'm just trying to put some numbers out there, because the big thing is the Echo Bike Challenge.
Right.
And then giving some people, because you will have some time to practice those chin-ups as well. So you can kind of see how that works. And if you're someone who's enjoyed practicing your chin-ups, here's your opportunity. So really, you have that opportunity to do that. That's why some of you might want to let the Echo people do the Echo Bike first, so you can practice your chin-ups and finish with the Echo Bike. Others might want to get on the Echo Bike as quickly as you can, give yourself some time to recover, and then practice your chin-ups while you're waiting for everybody else. We'll see how it goes. It is going to be up to you, but the big thing is, let's see that number improve on that Echo Bike. And this is where, again, this is going to come down to, are you willing to challenge yourself to really go hard on this? And it's not that I doubt you. It's just that these kind of things, this is where you got to be willing to make it hard, or else you're not wasting your time, but you're using the time and not getting as much out of it as you possibly could. And it's not that long. It just seems scary at first. You guys are going to do great with it. And it feels good afterwards to know that you challenge yourself. And by the end of 4 weeks, you're going to see that improvement.
Sure.
Okay, so
I don't think there's really. I mean, the pendulum press is back.
Yeah,
I was kind of looking at. Some
also
of the
say
other things.
when it came to the strength sets here, we are going to be working 4 exercises here. So the goal is to get really 2 to 4 sets in. And that's because sometimes the first set, you might go a little bit lighter. You might have an exercise you realize, okay, I can go heavier than that, way heavier. I'm going to try to get 3 more working sets in. But you want to try to get 2 to 3 very challenging sets of 8. And then you could also add 1 to 2 sets that might be a lighter set to warm up, a lighter set at the end to just get some practice in while other people are still working. Or you could get yourself ready for those finishers or that Echo Bike Challenge at the end of workout B. But we will have 4 that we'll work through, and we're going to do an upper body push, an upper body pull, a 2-leg lower body exercise, and a single leg exercise in some way. So we kind of mix it up that way to kind of get that balance there. And on the lower body, again, that's a lot of work for the lower body because you got a lot of muscles there. So make sure that you're focused more on your form on those exercises, and we can take the weights up as you're moving really well with them, as well as with every exercise we do, right?
And then just a couple notes that I had written down was one we're going back to the incline bench. So obviously your weights are going to be different.
Yes. So
from what we were doing this month with the flat bench.
And some of you have done the incline bench recently, so you can also check those weights and use it. But yes, it's going to be a different angle. Most people are not going to be as strong in the incline because it hits more shoulder and less pecs, so smaller muscles that are going to get worked. But we do get some work from the pecs there. And it's just we like to mix up the angles at which we're hitting our bench press and push-ups just so that we get that variety there. So it will probably be a little bit lighter than your bench press. But again, in that first week, we're going to get 2 to 3 sets in. So by that 3rd set, you should feel like, okay, that's a pretty good weight, and I can start there next week.
Sure. The only other exercise I was looking at was we brought back the seesaw press, right?
So working those dumbbell, the dead bug seesaw presses here. And again, if you're new to this or you haven't done it in a while or you need to think about it differently, take your time, 1 arm at a time, so you don't have to be moving both. As you're getting more comfortable, you can start to move in where both arms are moving, as you can see in the videos I start. But I'm not trying to speed it up. I'm not trying to move faster. I'm just not pausing in between. I'm kind of letting them both work at the same time here. This is also a weight that the press should not be heavy. We're not trying to exhaust ourselves with the press. We're trying to get all these muscles woken up. So that's why this is what we call a long chain exercise, because it hits a lot of different muscles from head to toe, and it's going to take a little more time to work them. But so start with something light and see what you can do there. Kettlebells or dumbbells are fine on that one as well. And then we pair that up with the Echo Bike. So remember, take your time on the dead bugs because it's not about wearing you out. And then hit that Echo Bike hard for 5 calories, because hitting it hard for those 2 sets on this workout is also going to translate to making the challenge sets at the end of the other workout feel a little bit easier or help you get a little bit more power output there as well.
Perfect. That was really the only comments on, and like every month for the last, I don't know, half a year at least, we've been doing them this style. I'll put in kind of that grant, every exercise with the video and the layout and everything on that. So that'll be coming. I don't know if you wanted to hit on either of those two notes.
We'll hit on a couple notes here before we move on to that. Though, say again, I mentioned this last month. It really is about intention and what you're trying to do. So talk to the coaches. Let us know the support or help that you think you need. If you have a question about things, if you think you want to go heavier but you're feeling some hesitation, if something's not feeling right, maybe you need a modification. Talk to us about those things, because our goal is to help you leave. I want you leaving the gym feeling better physically and mentally than when you walked in. Yep. And I also want you to look back after 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks and say, oh, I can see the gains I'm making, whether it's my mindset and willingness to make it more challenging, or noticing in your body energy levels, feeling leaner or stronger, whatever those things are. This is the stuff that when you put that effort into this, it will make the difference there. So please talk to us. Yep. Let us know where you're feeling like you need more coaching, more support, or just being told what to do. Or other times, hey, back up, back off, because I'm doing the best I can, man. We get that too, okay? So now, a couple announcements real quick. And on September, I wrote down 8. Fearless Fighter is September 14th, and that's a Sunday. We do, because we are a sponsor, we also have some entries that we're going to be raffling off, so check the Facebook page for that.
I think we emailed to you.
Email us, let us know that you're interested. And then I'll be leading the warm-up at the beginning of that as well. And then September 20th is the Sarah Vineyard
social.
Yeah. What was it? Vino and Vibes social. So that's gonna
not our department.
And that's also posted in the family page, so you can find that, and we'll be making announcements about that at the gym as well. So that's gonna be a great time for everybody as well. Okay, so I think that's all. Man,
that's a quick one.
No reason not to watch this whole video, everybody.
I mean, you don't even have to double speed this one.
Hey, as Henry David Thoreau said, watch the whole video. Love you, bye.
Oh, boy.